Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Imagine this for a moment. What would you do if by accident you sent a text message to the richest man in the world asking for money for something as simple as baby milk? Sounds unbelievable, right? Today I'm going to tell you the real story of a mom who texted a billionaire by mistake for baby milk money. And what he did next, it shocked the world. Stay with me because this story is full of unexpected twists, a bit of humor, and some important lessons that really make you think. Let's jump straight in. Let's start at the very beginning. In a small, busy town, there was a hard-working mom named Lisa. Now, Lisa was known for her kind heart and her always busy life. Every day she juggled her work, taking care of her little baby, and kept everything on track with a smile, even on the toughest days. But one evening, after a long day filled with chores and stresses, Lisa found herself in a very difficult situation. She needed to buy baby formula because her baby was hungry and money was very tight. In a hurry, Lisa picked up her old mobile phone to send a vital text message. But as we all know, sometimes even tiny mistakes can change everything. In her anxious state, Lisa accidentally opened her contacts list and typed a quick message meant only for a local family friend who could help her out. Instead, she ended up texting a name that looked almost the same. What she did not know was that the name on her phone belonged to Mr. Anthony Carter, a billionaire known around the world not just for his wealth, but for his kind heart and love of helping others. It was a texting mistake that would change everyone's lives. Now let's look at this moment a bit closer. Imagine you're busy, your mind is racing, and you hastily tap random buttons on your phone. That's exactly what happened to Lisa. With one wrong tap, her heartfelt plea for baby formula money was sent to someone she never meant to contact. In today's world, our phones work so fast. When we press send, the message leaves our hands in an instant. It usually takes less than a second to travel through signal towers and reach its destination. This story shows us how technology, even though it helps us every day, can sometimes lead to really surprising outcomes, both good and unexpected. Let's talk a bit about Mr. Anthony Carter. Picture a man who has everything you could ever imagine. Fancy cars, huge buildings, but also a big heart. Mr. Carter started from humble beginnings and made his fortune through hard work and smart thinking. Over the years, he had become famous for not just being rich, but for giving back to the community. He often donated money to help schools, hospitals, and families in need. So when that unexpected text arrived on his phone, he was doing his usual thing, checking messages and catching up on the day's news. But what he saw made him pause. Instead of ignoring it, he read the message carefully. The text said something like, "Please help me. I need money for baby milk." And though it seemed like a mistake, he could see the desperation and hope in the words. That small message, sent to the wrong person, touched his heart immediately. Now comes the part that surprised everyone. Instead of simply deleting the message or laughing it off, Mr. Carter decided to act. He knew what it felt like to struggle, and even though he had so much, he remembered feeling the pain of need. With genuine care, he immediately replied with a message that said, "Hello, I know this message may have been sent by mistake, but I want to help. Let's talk and see what I can do for you and your baby." For a moment, Lisa was shocked. She had expected maybe an error reply or no reply at all. She certainly never imagined that a billionaire would respond with such kindness and generosity. Mr. Carter didn't stop there. He arranged for a large donation to be sent directly to a local baby formula program that Lisa trusted. His simple act of kindness sparked a chain reaction that would soon be discussed all over the world. Let's take a little detour and talk about how digital communication works in moments like these. You see, whenever we send a text message, our mobile phone sends our words through tiny signals. These signals travel to a network tower and then quickly jump to the person's phone. Modern technology makes this process almost magical. It happens in less than a blink of an eye. But sometimes this magic can lead to unexpected surprises. When we are busy or tired, our fingers might tap a little too quickly, and we might choose the wrong name from our contacts list. Even something as simple as a texting mistake can turn into a life-changing moment. This story is a reminder that even our little errors can sometimes bring big results. So next time you send a text, it might be worth taking just one more look before hitting send. After Mr. Carter's kind reply and immediate action, word of this accident started spreading like wildfire. Social media erupted with the story. News outlets, blogs, and even TV shows began talking about the texting mistake that turned into a generous act. People all over the world began to share their opinions, many in amazement and others with a warm smile. This viral moment wasn't just about a mistake anymore. It was about kindness, hope, and the power of doing good. People started discussing how sometimes, even when our technology slips up, it can lead to something better than we ever imagined. Comments like, "This is proof that people can be kind in the most unexpected ways." And I hope more billionaires follow Mr. Carter's lead filled the internet. At schools, teachers even use this story as an example of how a small error can turn into a positive message if we choose to act kindly. It was as if everyone, no matter how young or old, was reminded of the beauty of helping others, even when mistakes happen. Now, I want to share something personal with you. I believe that this story shows us that mistakes are not always bad. Sometimes they lead us to moments of unexpected happiness and generosity. Imagine if Lisa's mistake had just been ignored. The world would have missed out on a truly heartwarming example of kindness. In our own lives, we often worry so much about making mistakes. We beat ourselves up over little things. But what if, just like in this story, a mistake can be an important lesson? It reminds us that even when things go wrong, there is always a chance for something wonderful to happen. Mr. Carter saw a desperate message and chose to help, and that simple act has made the news and inspired many people. I think that is a lesson for all of us. Sometimes a mistake or an accident can be the spark that changes something for the better. And isn't it wonderful to know that even billionaires with all their money and power still have a warm heart ready to help when needed? Okay, let's have a little laugh together. Have you ever sent a text to the wrong person? Maybe you meant to text your friend about a funny meme, and instead you sent it to your teacher. Imagine the awkward moment when you realize your mistake and hope the teacher finds it as funny as you did. Well, while Lisa's mistake was serious, it reminds us of those times when our fingers just don't do what we mean them to do. We've all been there. When you accidentally call your crush by the wrong name or send a silly emoji that wasn't meant for the group chat. These mix-ups can sometimes be a bit embarrassing, but they usually end up as stories we laugh about later. In Lisa's case, though, her mistake led to something truly amazing. I like to say that texting mistakes are like unexpected surprises. You might not always want them, but sometimes they bring a little extra goodness into your life, and that's exactly what happened here. Let's take a moment to talk about the technical part of texting that made this story possible. When we send a message from our cell phones, the phone uses a system called the cellular network. This network is like a giant web of towers and signals that help connect our messages from one place to another. Even if you are in a small town, your message can travel hundreds of miles in an instant. There are many technical details behind this, like how your phone converts your words into digital signals that travel at almost the speed of light. It may sound complicated, but think of it like sending a secret code that only the right person can read. However, if the secret code ends up with the wrong person, like in our story, it can lead to a surprising adventure. This is why it's important to double check your contacts before you hit send. Though in Lisa's case, the accidental text turned out to be a blessing in disguise. After Mr. Carter's kind response, something amazing happened. People all over the world started to see that sometimes mistakes can lead to hope and positive change. The story of Lisa and the accidental text has inspired many others to be more kind and generous, even if they may not have millions of dollars. Local charities and community centers received messages of thanks, and many people started sharing their own stories of unexpected kindness. Schools held workshops on how everyone, no matter how small the gesture, can make a big difference. Social media was filled with stories of people sending encouragement and help to strangers they met online. This ripple effect shows us that one small act can multiply. The kindness Mr. Carter showed that day has touched so many lives. And it reminds us that every one of us can be a little bit like Mr. Carter by taking a moment to help someone in need, even if it's just a mistake that led us there. As we look back on this surprising tale, it's important to think about the lessons we can learn. First, always slow down and check your work, even your texts. A tiny mistake might lead to something unexpected, but it can also change your life in wonderful ways. Next, this story shows the power of kindness. Mr. Carter did not ignore a call for help, even when it came in a strange, unexpected package. He took a moment to understand the message, and he acted with heart. His decision to help a mom in need has now become a legacy, a reminder that no matter who you are, everyone has the power to do something good in the world. Finally, this story tells us that the world is full of surprises. Sometimes accidents lead to beautiful outcomes. It reminds us that mistakes are part of life, and they can sometimes open doors that we never knew existed. Learning from our mistakes, and sometimes even laughing about them, can bring the best parts of our humanity to light. Let me share a few final thoughts. I believe that in life, we should not be afraid of making mistakes. Every misstep is an opportunity to learn and grow. Think of it like riding a bike. You might fall sometimes, but each fall teaches you something valuable, and eventually you ride confidently. Mr. Carter's response to Lisa's accidental text is a perfect example of how we can all turn a mix-up into a moment of generosity. Instead of laughing at her, he reached out with sympathy and a willingness to help. And that, my friends, is something truly inspiring. It reminds us that even when we are at our most vulnerable, there's always someone out there ready to extend a hand, to spread a little light in a dark moment. This story is not just about one text or one act of kindness. It's about the ripple effect that one small action can have on the world. It teaches us to be mindful, to check our work, to be patient with ourselves when mistakes happen, and above all, to never stop being kind. As we come to the end of today's story, I want you to remember one very important thing. Kindness matters. No matter how big or small your actions may seem, they have the power to change lives. Just like Lisa's accidental text led to a powerful act of generosity, Your smallest actions could be the spark that inspires someone else. If you enjoyed this story, please give this video a thumbs up and share it with someone who might need a bit of hope today. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel because we have so many amazing stories and lessons coming your way. Also, check out the video on the end screen. There's another incredible story waiting that I think you'll love. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, even mistakes can lead to miracles. Until next time, stay kind, stay curious, and keep believing in the power of a little unexpected magic.